Turn this off. Hello and welcome to Blackwater D&D, where Adam forgets that he's the person who has to do this because Sean isn't here right now and is saying this in lieu of something that I would normally say. We recovered though, didn't we? We're here playing a bit of D&D. This is another one of the little interim break episodes with our wonderful guests, Cody and Christian. We're so excited to have you both on, and I'm going to just right away send it right over to Em for the announcements.
Look at that beautiful transition. Holy, that might be the smoothest we've ever thrown it over. So well
What?
done.
No.
Yeah, no. So usually I have to rescue it and save it and just get the train moving. Okay, now
Because I talk about putting
delayed.
dice in my mouth. Hey, there it is.
There
There
it is.
you
There
go.
it is. You
It
did
happens.
If you are like, wait a minute, you were in the studio last week and now you're here. We are. Our wonderful friends Christian and Cody are in LA right now, so we wanted to bring them in and do this wonderful thing over Zoom for the eventuality of when they come join us at the table. When is that happening? Soon. So get ready, buckle up your butts. And if you have missed the first of these interludes, it is available up on the Questline D&D YouTube, so you should go look at that and go get that done for yourself. Not now, stay here and then go watch the other one later. I'm very excited to play with their beautiful characters and them as well because I adore them. So I'm going to jump into announcements now. Big thank you to our sponsors and partners. We are proud to be sponsored by Sirenscape because epic games require epic sound. We are also proud to be using Epidemic Sound for this campaign. As well, we are partnered with Legend Keeper, the ultimate world building tool created by DMs for DMs. It is a delightful program. Our wonderful DM Tim is using it to plan for this campaign. And Tim, what do you think about it?
I think it's great. Very cool. It's like every time I use it, I discover something new in kind of an easy way. Like it's like, oh, I can do that. I should have been doing that the whole time. And it's awesome. I really love it.
Well, this is good because probably what you're doing to plan your D&D campaigns is like a Google Doc or maybe on paper. So head on over to Legend Keeper.
Paper in this day and age?
In this economy?
In this economy.
You care about the environment? You're killing trees.
Killing trees. So yes, please type !Legend Keeper in the chat for more info. Our campaign 2 mini sponsor is MTM Printworks. MTM is your one-stop shop for all sorts of minis from fantasy, western, sci-fi, or modern. MTM has everything you need to take your table to the next level. Type MTM or !MTM in the chat for more info. Our campaign artist is the incomparable Tiana Kovacevic. You can find her art everywhere on this channel because you know it, you love it, and you can find her on Instagram at miss._Marston. She does not have Twitter, and I guess now she shouldn't join it. She should stay on Instagram because her art is amazing and beautiful.
In a month, like who knows what Twitter's gonna be like?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows gonna be at the top?
It's every day. It's a new game.
I think it's going to get renamed into Musk Chat.
Oh, that's gross. I hate that. We have a wonderful dice patron in Familiar Dice, who is an artisanal dice maker who makes some of the most beautiful math rocks we have ever seen. Type !Dice in the chat for all the info and follow him across all socials. We have a Discord and a YouTube. If this is your first time here and you're like, where do we watch the rest? Our entire first campaign and all of our extra content is over on our Blackwater D&D YouTube. But this beautiful campaign 2 is on Questline D&D's YouTube channel. They're at Questline AFL on YouTube, and you can type !Questline. They are our partners for this wonderful campaign. We're so happy to be working with them. So thank you to the wonderful folks of Questline. Thank you to those of you who subscribe to us. You can also sub with your Amazon Prime. You get 1 free Twitch sub every month, so don't forget to re-up those because those are the ones that don't roll over. Everything else does. You can also gift subs in the chat if you're feeling kind. I don't know. And if you do that, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. You also, if you'd like to sponsor us above and beyond, you can type !Donate, and that'll send you over to our Streamlabs link. We're also just really grateful to have you here week after week because we get to do cool things like play D&D with just fantastic folks and do mixed media stuff, and it's great. While we aren't able to shout out raids tonight, I'd like to take a second to say thank you to this wonderful community. It is so much richer with all of you in it. If wonderful folks come in for raids and stuff tonight, please make sure they feel welcome within the Gravelverse because too late, we love you already. Whoops, we did it. And so, yeah, this is part 2 of a 3-part interlude, and the next one will be coming in a couple weeks. So stay tuned across our socials for all of that info. A fun little thing is that I am in a sweet little podcast called The Department of Variance of Somewhere, Ohio. A bunch of episodes have been released. They come out every week on Wednesdays. I play Scarlet Jaunt, a tough as nails but squishy on the inside femme who is just trying to do her job when everything goes to shit. I'm super proud of this thing, so you can type, you can go search it wherever pods are cast. And that's it. I don't have anything else.
That gives me Jersey vibes.
Thank you. A tough as nails femme who's squishy on the inside.
He's just trying to get a job done.
That's most of my characters right now, Adam. That's also just me. A tough
trying to get a job done.
That's trying to get a job done. Okay, so whether you are new with us tonight or you have been with us for ages, thank you so much for your support. It is through community that we can make amazing things happen. We love you immensely, and thank you for hanging out at our table. We hope you feel super welcome here. And Cody, roll that little clip. Roll the clip.
And we're in.
We're in.
Okay, so last we left off, our intrepid crew made their way onto a small island in the middle of the Vilean Ocean between the Marinora Archipelago and the northeastern edge of Katona. After Captain Crab had revealed the purpose of their voyage, stealing a prize Dathian ship, the Drake, however, they were double-crossed by the pirate and left stranded on the island. After having helped the Dathian crew of the Drake in a fight against several magically animated weapons, they came to an agreement with the Dathians to help them complete their expedition in exchange for passage off the island. While the Dragonborn members of the crew remained distant, the other crew members, Wysper and the guide Valentine, opened up to the party, strengthening the bond between these two groups. We pick up as the group was setting in for their night watch, only to be interrupted by a haunting wail coming from deeper within the jungle. So you all hear that kind of low moan kind of sweep across the clearing and then fade as the wind dies down.
Have y'all spent a night on this island already, or is this the first time you're hearing that? Should we be worried about that?
Yeah, DM, is this the first time we've heard something like that?
Yeah, you haven't spent the night here. You got here early in the morning, and you hadn't set up a camp yet.
And does it sound like anything familiar, or like an animal or creature that would be
make a nature check?
That is an 11.
11. You don't recognize it. It's not like anything you've ever heard before. It's eerie.
No, we have never heard anything like this.
Okay.
Tim, would I have heard sounds like this before?
You can make a nature check as well.
Nature?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's nothing. It's just the wind traveling through the trees.
Or a history check, I guess. Yeah, you could make a history check.
I'll do a history check because I have a little bit more. That's a flirty 20.
Nice.
It's not... It doesn't sound totally natural.
Okay.
But it also doesn't sound totally supernatural.
Interesting.
There's something odd about it. It doesn't sound like an animal.
But not like the sounds of my childhood?
Not quite, no.
Cool.
Not that extreme.
Terrifying. What a terrifying statement. How close, DM, how close does it sound?
Sounds relatively far away, like not in the immediate vicinity. Seems like it's probably a little ways off.
Whatever that is, it is alarming for certain, but sounds far away. Perhaps we can rest up for the evening and keep watch. Make sure whatever that is does not come here.
I'm happy to take a watch. I'm doing pretty okay and got a sharp
Also take
eye.
a watch. Yeah.
Who would like to take first watch? Shy,
Yeah. If no one else is, I can join in with show.
Esper. All right. I'll have you both make perception checks.
Char will remain on guard with whomever is watching as well.
Okay, sounds good. Char kind of snuggles up at your feet as you're sitting there, kind of looking out into the jungle.
That is going to be a flirty 20 for me.
Okay.
Got an 18.
Nice. So the only light is the kind of burning embers in the center of your camp. Where the funeral pyre was is now kind of a smaller fire that they've been keeping going. The captain has been kind of looking after that, Hess. And you kind of peer out as your eyes are sort of adjusting to the darkness, as there is no other light on the island. It takes a little while as you kind of look out, and you can see the trees kind of shifting as the wind picks up. You hear that wail a few more times throughout your watch, but it doesn't seem to be moving any closer or any farther away. It's fairly consistent.
My question is, do we hear animals?
You hear some insects, but you don't hear any other larger animals.
That's a problem.
With a 20, Shy would also notice that in the darkness, because Esper looks very nondescript human, but in the darkness you'd see his eyes have that like animals who are nocturnal thing where their eyes like catch any light that's there and kind of reflect it back. So anytime she would look over at Esper, she would like catch his eyes first, reflecting light.
Now, are we going to just pretend? Am I pretending that's not happening, or your eyes
Well,
okay?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, they glow a bit in the night.
Oh, right. I've always had good night vision. Like when it's dark and stuff, I'm pretty good at
Yeah.
seeing in it. Like when it gets dim and stuff. But I don't think like I met an elf once, and he said, "Yeah, we saw about the same." Like,
Right. Okay, so there's been nothing ever said to you about the way your eyes look at night. The same way nobody's ever said nothing to me about my ears.
I've spooked some folks before, but no one said it out loud. No, is it disconcerting?
I mean, no, it's not bothersome at all. I just, you know.
I will say that most of the people I've met who are like me, like human folk, don't see as well at night as I do. But I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure there's nothing to that.
Well, that's helpful then, so you're fine.
Well, yeah. It's like I'm just built different.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I also never got a chance to say a proper thank you back in Ellery for we'd known each other a grand total of 2 minutes, and you were kind as they started to light the barn on fire. So
I'm not gonna lie. There was a very real chance those people were there for me. So it was, friendship of convenience. But I'm glad it's grown into a proper friendship. I hope.
yeah, I don't make friends easy. Never quite been good at it, and I guess it's been a while since I've let myself get close to people, and I really don't have a choice. With all of you, I am so far from home and things that I know. So
I do make friends pretty easy.
I gathered that. Yeah.
None of them, but I don't often stick around very often for long. So
Why's that?
this is well, bad luck tends to follow me. Things tend to go wrong. I've bounced from town to town. Sometimes the milk will spoil, or the cows will go dry. Weird little omens and things that I don't think have anything to do with me. I just think I'm unlucky. But then, the townsfolk, they get superstitious and they put it on me. I'm a witch. I'm a devil. I lay with devils and whatnot. But I don't think any of that's true. They do use my fingers as kind of like evidence as to my
Right.
witchcraft, and I honestly don't quite know what that is really. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to this magic school in Taywin to get my brother enrolled, but being around people who are called witches ain't nothing new to me. Uh, my mama had a fancy title and everything. She's called the Witch of the Shallow Moontide. So
That's a very cool title.
it was a lot, but yeah, she was good at what she did. So it doesn't bother me none.
I don't really remember my mum much.
Yeah, me neither.
Mm.
I get bits and pieces, but it's been a long time.
Yeah. Also, if we're still traveling together when we get to that school, that might be where we part paths. I don't
Oh.
put much stock into places like that.
I mean, it's not for me. It's for my brother.
Right. Yeah. I
I've
was
got
put in a school for kids that were special, but it
right.
wasn't that. It was a different thing.
I'm sorry that happened to you. It doesn't.
Oh,
The tone in your
it's all
voice
right.
sounds. And I hope that this one, Tim, what is the name? Remind me one more time of the name of the school in Taywin.
Oh, the Vatoma Academy.
Yeah, the Vaitoma. It's my brother. He's so good with stuff. He's young. He's untrained, but he was always been like he could just do stuff, and it was so impressive to me. And he was apprenticing in an apothecary for a time, and that was real good for him. And I just, it's all I've ever wanted was for him to. I'll do anything to get him the training that he needs. I don't care what the work costs. It's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so expensive. But I've been saving up for a bunch of things, so I'm hopeful that they'll take his registration.
That's good of you.
I got real nothing to back it on.
You sound like you're a very good sister. Also, the school that you're going to sounds way more posh and proper than the one I ended up in.
Oh,
Was not honestly didn't end up being a school at all.
what was it?
But I did learn a lot.
Not a school, but you were sent there.
I was bought,
Oh,
kind of.
I'm sorry.
I think from what I remember, my parents didn't have a lot of money,
Right.
and this fella said that we were special, me and my brother, and he paid them, and they thought that I was gonna go become a great wizard or something,
Yeah.
and you know how that sort of turns out, not a wizard, so didn't quite pan out.
I know what you mean about not having much. I scraped together everything I could.
I learned a lot, so it was a school in a way.
Right. Well, I'm glad you're here, and
So am I.
yeah, you're all right. Even if you do run your mouth and not shut up, as per Declan.
I run my mouth exactly as much as I need to.
Yeah, I know. That's good. All right. And I just like slap him on the chest, just kind of like one of those.
All right.
So Thistle punched me earlier, like square in the chest, and I've noticed that like Wysper did that to someone else as well. Is that? I know that you like to do like a little good on ya. Do we think maybe that's been lost in translation, or because he got me? He caught me right in the fucking sternum. I couldn't breathe. He's not weak. He like got a hand on him.
I mean, I gave Wysper a little tap on the shoulder as a sign of like, okay, we're friends now. I think
that might have evolved.
Well, I think that's if Thistle's given you one,
that
means Wysper's giving him one, and that means we're all friends, right? Which is what you want.
Honestly, yeah. As long as it's not above the shoulders, I'm happy with it.
Oh, nobody can hurt that.
Or below the belt. No,
yeah, I've known people like you my whole life. Come on now. And we just take up the rest of our watch.
Yeah. So yeah, the rest of your watch passes uneventfully, and you wake the next two to take their watch. Who would like to take the second watch?
I will. I'll wake up and find Char.
Sounds good. Char kind of pats over to you as the other two kind of lay down. Would anyone else like to take a watch with Wysper? Valentine?
Valentine would.
Okay. So Valentine and Wysper, you get roused, and your watch begins kind of in the middle of the night. It's very quiet. There's hardly any insect sounds at this point. It's mostly just the fire. I'll have you both make perception checks.
As I do, I'll just I'll say to Char in Draconic, you can go hunt.
She kind of perks up. She takes off into the woods.
Do you think that's smart with the sound we just heard?
She's more quiet than the both of us, my friend, and she's hungry. 14 on my perception check.
14. Okay.
10.
10. Okay. So the evening, the night passes on. You hear that same sound only once as the wind kind of picks up. And then it is relatively calm. Later in your watch, Char comes back. And you can see she has in her mouth what looks like an egg, a fairly decent size egg. It's kind of grayish in color. And as she kind of gets into the camp and she sits down, she crunches through it, and you see the yolk kind of pops out, and she starts licking it all up.
I hope whatever she grabbed that from is not coming to look for it.
Well, and if it does come to look for it, I hope it's not large. Or at least if it is, maybe it'll feed the rest of us.
How big is the egg?
The egg's probably about big. It's not like an ostrich egg, but it's bigger than a chicken egg. Somewhere in between there.
Whatever laid that egg is bigger than a chicken, my friend. Be on guard.
Well, hopefully it's not what made that noise.
How is it? Forgive me, this is something I have been wondering since we set out on our voyage together. How did you find yourself in the employ of the Kaissar?
Oh, no. Perfect question. I know I've been sort of busy with the whole sailing thing, and so we haven't really gotten a chance to sit down and do the whole speak to each other thing. I've been known to have a few drinks and speak a little loudly, a little excitedly, and I had found a story that was particularly interesting. The one of the whale, of the ship and the artifacts it could hold, and I just sort of happened upon it, and someone heard me and thought I'd be a good addition to this crew. So I was hired from that point on.
As you may very well know, the Kaissar, the Dragonborn, are not very welcoming in Dathia.
No, they have not been. Well, if I'm being honest, this is the most conversation I think I've had in a couple of weeks. It's nice. It feels good. It feels good to talk to people. I don't like sailing very much, and so, being on a boat and sort of isolation. I mean, around all of you, but yeah, it's been interesting. But so far, I mean, how did you find yourselves with them? Like you said, the Dathians don't exactly like non-Dathians. Sorry, no offense. You are Dathian.
I am Dathian by nature, I guess, but not by blood.
But
They found me in the Wraithmoor 2 years ago. Me and my sister, Charles. She was a pup then. But when they brought me back to Dathia, they decided to train me. The Kaissar took me in as one of their own, insofar as they can, showed me nothing kindness. And I am grateful to them. I seek answers myself, where I came from, why I was found in the Wraithmoor. This, I'll raise my hand so you see the skin.
You were found in the Wraithmoor.
This is what they tell me. I remember very little of it, but yes.
There's nothing out there. That's interesting.
I was out there. Char was out there.
Oh.
It seemed...
Prove me wrong.
This makes no sense to me, really, but they say I was found in a crater, as if I had crashed from somewhere high above.
Interesting.
And then tonight, well, it was the first time I ever saw or felt those wings. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but...
Well, that's definitely the first time I've ever seen someone sprout wings. Well, who didn't already have them quite visibly. So that was a spectacular sight.
Thank you.
I hope,
Scary.
I hope you don't mind. Valentine would take the book from the holster. Can I write any of this down?
For your own record or for what purpose?
Sure. Yeah, historical record, or like I said, I like stories and I'm a bit of a writer myself. Inspiration, strikes and it comes to us all sometimes. This is obviously, all the details are yours, but I mean, I'm a person sprouting wings in the middle of a forest after a fight. It would make for a great story. If I could use it, if I can't, it's fine.
Sure. I no one has asked me to record my story before. It is a strange sensation. It makes me shy. I learned this emotion.
Yes, really. No one has asked you more questions or tried to write this down. It's incredible. Oh, that's okay.
We have experienced a lot of incredible today. That man is made of tree. Or was a tree?
Yes,
or still is a tree. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I'm very interested to talk to him next. Do you think he'll be offended if I take a book out? I do write in paper. I don't know how that works.
I don't know. Perhaps he does not know that he can be made into paper yet.
I do not want to be the first one to bring that up.
Neither do I. He is a nice man.
He is very nice. Yes. Well, thank you for talking to me and sharing a bit about your life. It's an incredible story. But you don't remember anything after being found. You just woke up.
I remember Dragonborn. I remember a long journey back, in and out of consciousness. I remember being presented before King Irex. And the next thing I knew, I was in the abode of the Kaissars, being taken care of, looked after, healed. They have been kind in their own way. You seem kind in your own way.
Oh. Thank you. I try to show kindness and love where I can. I mean, it's love is an emotion I think everyone should experience, and why not fall in love with someone new every day?
Are you in love with me?
Maybe
We
not.
barely,
Maybe not what I meant. I mean,
yeah. This is new to me. I
yes,
do not know what to say.
We're friends now. Sure, I love my friends. Each of them in a way. Sure, yeah.
Yes.
You don't have to say it.
Chard, come. We must go secure the perimeter.
She looks up, just dripping egg yolk, and she kind of like.
I'll go up to her and just sort of take a bit off of her chin and give it a taste. And what does it taste like?
It tastes like
Salmonella.
egg, but it is definitely gamier. It definitely does taste like a wild game. It's got a much stronger kind of flavor to it than any egg you're used to having.
Well, I will give her a pet, a good scratch behind the ear, and then thinking about whether or not Valentine is in love with me, I will secure the perimeter.
Good luck on your search. And I'm just
Yes.
gonna hold the pen up.
Thank you.
From the pen, you'll see a drop of ink flow out and fly to your armor. I'm gonna give you a bardic inspiration.
Cute.
That was very kind of you.
Well, you may need it.
Yes, I will see you in a bit.
So you head around the perimeter, and the rest of the night is quiet. And you go to wake up the last two, Rosie and Thistle, for their final watch of the evening.
And it's Char that wakes you up, Rosie.
Oh, swoop up.
Her breath is like eggy and strong.
No thanks.
Yeah. But she's very excited. She's like, you can see like, and all the fur around her mouth is sort of like plastered down.
Yeah,
like
I know the
dried
vibe. Yeah, I know the vibe exactly. A perception.
Yeah, and I'll have Thistle and Rosie. You guys can roll
Oh God.
your perception checks.
I've never
How-
played a
how-
character
how-
who's good
how-
at this. And until now.
Until now, you're good at this.
Well, now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Druid.
Yeah,
Druid's all
yeah.
about that
Okay,
wisdom.
okay. I'm
Trees,
gonna
dude. They see.
I'm gonna give
everything.
you what's the thingy?
Guidance.
Guidance. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guidance because I'm not good.
That
at
would be
it.
in lieu of your perception check.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
Instead of, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so good with that.
That is going to be a 22.
22.
Thank God.
You don't hear the sound for the rest of the night. The wind is fairly calm. Snow. You are up as the sun is starting to come up. And you hear the forest comes alive a little bit more with the sound of you hear some birds and insects kind of like start to like that kind of morning chorus starts to filter in as your watch goes on, but it is relatively uneventful.
Nice.
It's just the two of us again, young Rosie. How the adventure started.
It is, yeah.
How are you finding it? It's quite marvelous.
I think I'm still pretty worried. I kind of, the more days that pass, I kind of can't stop thinking about each day that passes. It's a day that people are probably forgetting about me, but it's probably fine.
Oh, no. They're not forgetting about you. You are writing a story that is worth remembering. It has been, what is it now, 8 days since we walked through that tree, and we've been pirates. We've been abandoned on an island. We are hunting for a ship called the Whale. This is the stories that people would tell. This is a good adventure. It's a good adventure.
I can totally, like, I get that and I appreciate that, but it's not the adventure I'm supposed to be on. I'm supposed to be somewhere else right now.
Where are you supposed to be?
I'm supposed to be helping and getting to the city to pick up things. Where was it? My mind.
Kaywin.
I was supposed to be in Taywin.
Doing what? What could you be possibly doing that is more exciting than this?
Oh, well, I just became a cleric. So I was
Well, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
marvelous.
So I should be there. So I kind of can't stop thinking about that, but everyone is really nice.
But surely clerics go out into the world and adventure?
I don't think when they have other obligations that they're supposed to be at, usually no.
Oh.
Um,
I can understand that. It is important to take care of your commitments. But I have found that sometimes you I once knew a young sapling who his seed fell on the side of a hill, and we are made to grow straight out of the ground. And he tried. He put up a good fight, and for the first while he grew straight out of the ground. But unfortunately, it meant that he was growing away from the sun, and eventually he had to turn from where he thought he had to be and grow towards the sun. And I think that sometimes when you bind yourself to what you think you need to be doing rather than finding where you should be and letting fate guide you, you kind of miss out. But I have only had legs for about 10 days, so take most of what I say with a little bit of grain of salt. So I give advice, but I sometimes question how good it is.
that's good advice.
But either way, when we get to Taywin, I would love to meet these clerics that you tell me of.
Yeah, I can introduce you.
It'd be wonderful. Be wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. So the rest
I
of
punch
your
her.
watch. Yeah.
Oh, Thistle, did you just punch me?
It's a party thing now.
Yes, it's is this not how you show affection?
Me personally? No,
No, you do not like punching.
not generally.
Do you have a preferred method of that I can employ when I try to connect?
Hugs are nice.
What is hugging? Is this?
Stop, Jan. Oh no. Should be like, okay, stand up. Stand up.
Mm-hmm.
How tall is he?
Like 6'6".
Oh, my tiny little
Feel like a
like
tree.
5'3" half elf. She's so tiny. Okay, put your arms out.
Like I'm a
And-
tree again.
Mm-hmm. And then Rosie's gonna hug Thistle.
And he will sort of awkwardly wrap his arms around.
This is nice. Usually, in my past experience, when things do this, they are trying to kill you. But this is a sign of vulnerability. So,
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
Well, I'm glad I could teach you that.
So, Rosie, hug.
Mhm.
Shy, punch.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I think I can keep that all in line.
Yeah.
Nice. So your watch finishes uneventful.
How did I sleep,
as-
Tim?
You slept all right.
Oh,
Did he
Slept all right.
scream?
Yeah, canonically established night
Yeah,
screamer.
one of those whales during the second watch was Esper. But out in the open air, it seemed all right. Which you wouldn't know. You don't know any different, but is odd. So you finish your watch, and everyone kind of comes to with the sun as you watch Captain Niscar cooking some food for the morning, and the twins are kind of like, you can see them kind of getting ready. They bundle everything up and kind of set it at the camp, kind of using this as their base camp for the kind of expedition ahead, as they start talking to you, Valentine, for kind of the best way forward. Where do we go?
Deeper in, towards the middle. That's where the ship's supposed to be.
And they sort of like look like, and they look at the kind of like wide tree line. Lead the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll. Can I make maybe a survival or something, some sort of check to see if I can gain my bearings?
You can
in
make
this forest
a survival
where the
or
middle
investigation
is.
check. Yeah.
Can I give? Can I give the help action?
Sure.
Just like looking at where the sun's rising and just like walk past him and nudge him in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like 30 degrees off.
Yeah,
I
so
will
you can
send
take this.
Sprig up.
Sounds good. You can take this one at advantage,
Please,
or either
please.
survival or investigation.
Survival or investigate. Where's investigation? Oh, they're both the same. So it was a 14.
14. All right, so you kind of head to the tree line and you're sort of pacing, definitely looking like you know what you're looking for. And you do find there is like a small game path, like you can see the kind of animal tracks that lead through, that goes deeper. And you notice, like as you're kind of looking at this small path that seems, wide enough for single file travel, you kind of look and you notice that some of the trees like around this path are sort of uniformly shorter. Seems like they're all sort of shorter than the trees next to them. You're not sure what that means, but you do notice it. You're like, oh, okay, like around this kind of game path. But that seems to be a clear path into the heart of the jungle.
This path is well used. If it's good enough for the animals, it's good enough for us. I suggest we go farther in.
With
you all head together.
With Thistle put together that this is because of an animal that eats like a giraffe.
Make a I'm gonna say make a nature check at advantage on this one. Because you were a tree.
10 days ago.
19.
19.
Yeah. That's good.
You recognize as you're kind of looking, you recognize that these trees are younger. It seems like the trees along this kind of game path are younger than the trees just outside of it. So there may have been a wider path at one point that has since kind of grown.
Or as if a boat had plowed through.
You're not sure. But yeah, it does seem like these trees are newer. The path was likely wider. You're not sure if it's not quite as wide as a boat. In areas, it does widen out, like it could be, but it's not it's not uniformly like there's parts that are narrower and wider and things like that.
Do you want to just we want to maybe move a little quieter away from the rest of them and
Yeah, I can do that. I can scout.
I'll join the sort of back end of the group as we're leaving the campsite, and you'll see I'm placing the half mask on, and whoever's close enough will be able to see that the right side of my face has been disfigured in that same sort of way. And I'll click it in, and I'll say, whatever is in the front, I will send Char ahead, and she will pace in front of us, warn us of anything that may be ahead.
She can come hang out with me then. That's fine. All right.
Char, and I'll send her your way. And I
through.
will take up the
weaving.
rear of this line.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
The twins are kind of right in front of you, and in front of them is the captain. They are definitely kind of at the back of the pack.
As Char comes up to me, I'm gonna lean down and look, kind of give a little scritch behind the ear. All right, so you and I gotta work together, okay? Nobody need to be the hero, all right? Yeah,
All
okay.
right. I'll have whoever's in the front can make an investigation check.
It'll be me.
Oh, I was also going to be up there.
Oh,
with
you're
you,
gonna
and
go
I'm
up there
quite
too?
good at investigation. Yeah.
You investigate. I'm not so great at investigation, but can I be keeping an eye out instead, like more generally on the
perception
stuff
check.
around? Yeah,
Sure.
perception's more.
And Char can also give a perception check to see if she smells or hears anything different.
Sure.
She's
Yeah.
keen on that.
Yeah, you can make a perception check for Char.
23
be plus
investigation.
23 investigation, sure.
16 perception
16 perception.
for
okay.
sight.
14.
Nice. So yeah, as you're kind of moving through, the jungle is fairly thick outside of this this kind of game path. So you're doing your best to kind of keep an eye out, but sight lines are not great, so it's difficult to kind of see much beyond a few meters into the forest. But you're kind of keeping an ear out, and it's relatively quiet. You hear some birds up in the canopy, and some insects and things like that, but you're not hearing any animals. And for the investigation check, you head a little ways after probably 2 hours of travel, kind of following this game path pretty closely, as it kind of weaves through. It's a relatively straight line, but there is some curving. You find there is a bit of an opening that you kind of come out into that looks like it's probably about 20 feet across, circular, you can see, but there are no trees kind of in this circle. And as you look, you notice with your investigation check that the kind of like uniform shape kind of stands out to you, as like it's a pretty close, not a perfect circle, but like it looks more man-made in that way. But you notice that there is water, and it's kind of muddy along the edges. You just happen to catch it under there. There's kind of like a layer of brush and moss and things like that, but you notice just underneath that there is a bit of mud, like soft mud.
I will. The game trail that you were describing, did that seem like it hadn't been used in quite a while? Just because,
no, it seems like it is used.
So there is game, we're just not hearing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
interesting.
So
muddy clearing. That you said looked vaguely man-made.
The shape seems like a bit more man-made than a natural formation.
I realized I didn't say it, so therefore Esper forgot. I should have given someone my eerie token. I will kind of... Can I see everyone, or am I like too far ahead?
You probably can't see the very back of the group just because it's fairly narrow. But you could see probably at least 3 or 4 of them.
And I'll gesture for Shy and for like the essentially the players.
Yeah,
I'll gesture for like Esper, I mean Wysper and Shy and Thistle and stuff to come forward.
As you all kind of like edge closer, kind of next to each other, you sort of spread out under the thicket.
Before I make my way to everyone proper, I'll just turn to the twins and say, while we stop here, hide yourself in the tree line and make yourself scarce just in case. And I'll head to the group.
Was Valentine with like the core group?
Yeah, Valentine was it kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Or like closer to the front actually, because like
leading, yeah.
Yeah.
Who would I think would be in the like central, like the most central of the group?
Probably Rosie or Thistle, I would imagine.
Okay, I'll pull out a knucklebone. I'll give it to who wants it. I'll put it out. Offer it out. My little eerie token.
Oh yeah, is that the tooth?
It's not a tooth anymore because I was like, I don't want to be pulling out my teeth every time I need to do this. It's like he has like a little bag of knuckle bones that he like whispers.
Oh, okay. What's a knuckle bone?
A knuckle bone, like
Ew.
Knuckles.
it's
I think-
usually pig knuckles. They used it as like a gambling game. It was like the bone.
Yeah, I would rather your teeth, but I'll.
Oh wow!
I don't like
Weird
that.
stance.
That's a strong cleric
Yeah.
energy. I understand. I understand.
Have you ever seen
I
like
love
Len in like a movie where like a like witch will like read the fortune and throw down a bunch of bones, and they're often like square shaped. Those are knuckle bones.
No.
Yeah.
Rosie, I think, would feel the same, and she might step back when looking at the bone.
Cool. I'll give it to
and
Thistle then.
pet the Thistle.
Yeah, I don't eat bone, but thank you.
Don't eat this. That's for me to talk to you if we need to. There's like some sort of weird.
Do I
blood.
hold it to my ear?
No, I'll just be able to. If you have it, I can talk to you in your mind.
Is this why I can hear you now?
No,
He's perfect.
Your grandpa on Skype.
I love him.
True.
I can see you, but I
Yeah. No.
what?
So close.
no, the best one is when they hold you to their ear on a video call, and you're like, "I'm looking inside of your ear canal." Cool.
Oh, he says I've got to go there.
And yeah, I'll just essentially just describe the clearing as I saw it. Any thoughts on what that could be? I'm being extra cautious, but we did get double crossed yesterday, so maybe caution is a good thing.
We'll have hold on. Let me look at my spells.
I think while Thistle, I think I will Char and I will together sort of make around this clearing, make a progression and see if we see any sign of anyone other than us, any sort of footprint or any sign of life besides us that is relatively fresh.
If Wysper starts peeling off around one side of the clearing, I'll essentially just like to meet on the other side. I'll go the other way.
Okay. I'll have you both make investigation checks as you move around.
While they're investigating, you said the water was in the center, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's mud. You don't see any
It's
like
mud.
standing water.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till they do their thing, and then if given the go ahead, I'm gonna go approach the mud.
I'm sorry, I meant to say it's disadvantage for the investigation check as you move around, just because it's so thick. The underbrush.
I would like to approach the mud with Shy when that happens.
That is
It's a 13.
slightly worse.
13.
It was a 23, and now it's a 13.
No.
Mine was an 18 and then a 17. So
So you two things happen. Esper, as you move around that side, you kind of pick your way around and you kind of notice the same. It's pretty uniform around the edges. But you do see a little ways just off into the brush a little bit. You see what looks like a bird, but it has been it's made of stone. It looks like almost like a statue, but its wings are out, stretched as if it was flying, and it's just kind of lying on the ground. Wysper, as you kind of move around, Char is kind of moving with you and kind of darts ahead just a little bit, and you lose your footing and you kind of push through some brush and you feel like a snap of something, and this high-pitched sound rings out across the clearing. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Oh
Oh,
boy,
snap.
howdy.
I
Constitution.
do not like
you
this
say.
bird that's been petrified. I do not like this bird.
yeah,
that's
that
been petrified.
terrifies
Guys,
me.
Yep. I'm not good.
Tim,
at
On
this.
save.
Tim, everyone gets my +4 on this, right? 'Cause that's my aura.
No paladins this season.
No,
What? We don't have a
no, all the
paladin?
paladins are dead in the world. They all died.
What? Terrifying.
No,
Damn.
oaths. All
Damn.
the paladin oaths were lost in the Great
But
War.
Did I get
Except
a
for
long
the
rest?
party
Can
paladins.
I
Yes,
reset?
yes.
Yeah.
You have a long rest.
Okay, so Char rolled a 3. plus 1, 4, and I rolled a 19 plus something, plus 2, 20.
Okay.
So is this just straight roll?
Straight roll, yeah. Or it's
I got-
no, it's a con save. Con save.
I got a natural 20 plus 2.
Nice.
Ooh.
I've got a
Valentine.
17.
The green adventurer quite appropriately got a 6.
6. Okay. So anyone below 12 takes 3 points of thunder damage as this like high pitched
No.
ringing peels out across. You watch both of the twins kind of like hold their ears. The captain
3?
Okay. Yeah, just 3 points of
Because
thunder damage.
I got a 2.
Yeah,
Same here, pal.
I
and
had 0.
it fades away. There's still kind of a ringing in your ear a little bit, but it does fade away. And you look down, Wysper, and Char kind of yelps. And you manage to kind of cover your ears in time. And you see kind of like a thin silver wire that's been broken.
I do not know what I did, but I just set a trap in motion, I think, my friends.
As you move your foot, you notice there's some of that glassy black stone just underneath that wire.
We must walk very carefully here. I seem to have tripped a wire. Is anyone particularly good at pointing this out or finding a pattern in here?
Are we back? Are we back together?
Have we met up
Do you
yet?
go around to the other side, or do you?
Yeah, because I think at this point we're on like either side of the clearing.
Yeah, so you kind of make your way. You continue and meet on the
Yeah.
other side. The game path continues on.
I'm pretty good at looking for those kind of things. I'm good at keeping an eye out for like trips and traps and whatnot. Should we go back to the others? Let them know what did it look like? What you tripped?
A thin wire, and beneath it a black rock with a sort of. It was the same sort of rock that animated the suit of armor. Sort of magical rock, some magical component to it.
I found a little bird, but it was made of stone.
Was the bird in? How realistic did it look?
Did it look like super realistic?
Yeah, it looked pretty real.
Yeah, it
pretty-
looked like it was
pretty well
carved by
carved
someone who
statue.
fucking knew what they were doing.
Carved or frozen in a moment, I fear.
No, it didn't look cold. It was like stone.
Petrified, I mean, my friend.
Oh,
Yes.
right. No, it's never happened to me. I don't get scared very easily. I'm
Inside
sorry.
joke.
I'm being no. I'm being obtuse intentionally. I'm making a joke. Should we go to the group and let them know what's going on?
Yes, perhaps on our way you can explain what is the joke.
Right. This is the second person, and I'm gonna just explain to Wysper why the people from our area of the world tell jokes.
So you head back
Word for word what I told Thistle.
You head back by the bird.
Yeah, I'll go. Well, I'll take Wysper back past the bird just so that Wysper can have a look at the bird.
It's
Can I
probably
actually?
about-
Can I? Oh, it's big.
not huge. No. It's probably about.
But like,
it
if
looks
if I tried to lift it, it would be like probably too heavy to lift it. And like,
well, you could try. It looks like kind of like a. It looks like it would be if like a finch was slightly bigger. It's not huge, but it's winged.
okay,
around,
but so I'm not making like a dad grunt when I pick this up.
No,
This is just like,
no,
so, okay, cool.
no. It's
then yeah, I would.
solid, but-
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna look around. I'm so suspicious. I'm gonna like check that it's not attached to anything.
Yeah, you can make an investigation.
Investigation check. Yeah. Do I need to make this a Jesus?
No, because you're just focusing on this one thing.
Adam, I want you also to know that dad grunts have nothing to do with the weight that's being lifted. It's simply the act of lifting.
It's true.
Yeah, but like,
Mindset, really.
but
It is a
it's
mindset.
16 total.
Yeah, you look at like you can see the like there's been kind of movement around here. It looks like some of the brush is broken and things like that, but other than that, it doesn't seem like it's attached to anything. It almost looks like it's fallen.
And it doesn't have like a base or anything. It doesn't look like
No.
It's just a perfect bird that is stone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to scoop that up and continue on to the rest of the group.
I just have to say that during this entire, pretty much any time we're out, Char is sniffing and has an ear to the winds to see if she smells or hears anything that's not us.
While everyone has been, pardon?
Did you want to check out the mud?
I sure do. While
Check
everyone
that
is
mud.
while everyone is kind of doing their stuff and Esper's over. I'm so sorry I had to step away. Esper's over at the bird, and I would be looking at this viscous liquid to. I mean, I know water. But like, if it's not, is there something below it? Is there any ripples? Does it look like anything is moving below the water line?
You only notice the mud at the edges. Like on top, it just looks like brush and moss. Like it looks solid across. You only notice the mud because it was pointed out to you at the edges. But otherwise, it would just look like a little clearing.
Y'all want me to poke this?
Go for it.
What y'all think?
I'm not there, so.
Neither am I.
The mud does it just look like mud?
Yeah.
It's just mud.
Well, we're looking for a
think
ship.
so.
It might be. Maybe it's sunk. Again.
You said you were looking for a shipwreck on the middle of an island.
It would be difficult for a ship to sail through, yes.
The like clearing is smaller than a ship would be, I will say. Doesn't it's not the size of like a galleon.
But yes.
Does the path continue on past it, Tim?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Perhaps we walk around, we steer clear, and we just keep going. If Valentine thinks the way's forward, then we should just go forward. No point wasting time if we're not here to do the job of inspecting whatever this mud is.
Sounds good, yeah.
You don't touch the mud?
I don't like how much Tim wants us to touch the mud.
I'm just trying to get your goose.
I've never heard those words put together so often. Touch the mud, touch the mud. I've never heard
The
this.
fucking mud.
As you walk around the clearing, how careful are you not to step on the mud?
I don't. I
I
avoid the mud at all costs, Tim.
How long do you look at the mud?
I was told not to touch the mud, so I didn't touch the mud.
Did you think about the mud, though?
Sure did.
The mud is now inside you.
You're gonna be awake at
In
night
your
thinking
brain.
about, I should have touched that mud.
I should have touched that mud.
Could have been a good mud.
There was a magical sword hidden under that mud. As we go along,
Real Excalibur moment.
You pulled
So
the sword from
muddy.
the mud. It's made out of mud. It's just dripping.
Such a
sword.
shit Excalibur.
As we go over to the other side, do I see the black, like, sort of rock? The
Stone?
ring?
Yes.
the
Yeah.
stone?
Yeah. You would like they point it out to you as you move around.
Can
I would also show the bird to everyone.
Can I see if I can take some of it?
The stone?
Mm-hmm. Like what's its? Yeah, is it like super like in the ground, or is there some gravelly bits? Can I crack it? Like
It looks solid. There's no kind of shards or anything broken off. Like it's fairly smooth, and there's only a little bit of it visible. You're not sure if there's more underneath. Like you'd have to move some of the dirt around to see.
Can I pull out my book, Clack's Encyclopedia of Rock?
You wish.
Sold.
Can
Yeah,
I?
guys, this is like a nice basalt onyx mix.
I'm gonna. Yeah, Valentine's gonna
I miss
take
Clack.
their
I
rapier
miss
out.
Clark.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. So
No, Tim.
Valentine's gonna take the rapier out, and over the little bit that's exposed is going to run it along. I'm gonna see basically if it scratches the stone, and also if there's if this vein is larger and goes in a direction. I want to reveal more of it.
okay. As you kind of run it across, it doesn't scratch. You do use your rapier to kind of dig a little bit around it. Yeah. So you do see the vein is a little bit wider. It's like as you kind of scrape away, it looks like it's maybe about this wide in this section. You're not sure how deep it goes. As far as like you'll go down a few inches and it's still like it seems to go relatively deep, but yeah.
Is it Wysper's right side that's the like the burnt charcoal
Yes,
side?
sir. Yes.
I'm gonna be this might be nothing. I don't even know why the thought popped in my head. But Wysper, can you touch that stone with your right hand, with like the bare skin? It's probably nothing.
I have to admit that I was wondering the same thing. Tim, in such proximity to the stone, do I notice any sensation in my hand or face?
Are you touching the stone?
I haven't touched it yet, no, but I will approach it and I will remove my my bow hand gauntlet.
You did feel, and you're not sure if this was a result of whatever thing you triggered or your foot landing on it. You did feel kind of like a pulse as that happened. You're not sure if it was whatever you triggered or if it was the stone.
Do they look similar, or is that just me? They were described at similar times, and now my brain has equated them as being similar.
Not quite. Where Wysper's scars look more like igneous rock.
Right.
This is smoother. This is more, not quite a gem, but more in line with like obsidian,
like a volcanic
that
glass.
kind of glass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there is like a similarity in that sense,
Right.
Where they like you can see they would like the kind of formation or like the rocks have a similar quality, could be in the same family, but they're not exactly the same.
They both are related to lava in some.
That's kind of the connection.
It is the vibe. Yeah.
I will. I'll just lean down and touch it cautiously. But
knowing that the armor came to life last time, I am going to pull my knives out.
Yeah.
Knowing that like that was what triggered the fight, I'm just going to be ready to fight.
I'll have everyone take their headphones off except for Wysper, please.
I'm gonna same thing. I'm just gonna turn them off.
Don't leave me. Okay.
So, as you lay your hand down, you feel that burning sensation, and you feel your wings in your back as if they are about to sprout. They don't, but you can feel that kind of itch as they are. There's almost like this burning sensation for them to erupt out of your back.
Do I? Okay, I'll pull my hand back from it. Whatever is running through that rock is very powerful. I felt connected magically.
Tim,
Oh, go ahead.
Esper, or whoever is closest to me, why don't you touch it barehanded and see if anything happens?
I just slap my hand on it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll have everyone take their headphones off.
Oh no!
Y'all gave me crap about going to touch the mud. Now we got the touch of the stone. My goodness.
What a touch thing! It's what D&D is.
As you touch it, you feel the tips of your fingers start to tingle. And you feel a connection to something beyond yourself. And it's almost as if at the peripherals, you can't, in like the peripheral vision, it's like you see people. And as you go to look and you turn, you don't see them. It's like they're always just kind of at the periphery. These kind of ghostly apparitions.
Fuck. Do I lose any more of my Like, does it grow at all? It's just
No.
it's just the tip still. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I take my hand away. I would just take my hand away and just kind of
Watch as Esper kind of pulls his hand away.
You all right?
Yeah. I think Wysper's right. I think this is connected to something.
Who will touch the rock next?
I saw something I haven't seen since I was little, so
What did you see?
Folks that ain't with us no more.
Like,
Tim, would Thistle know anything about sort of ley lines and magical sort of currents through the world with his time spent essentially rooted in the earth?
I will have you make a history check.
I will have you make a touch the rock check.
Maybe if you touch the rock.
Just go ahead and touch that rock.
Or the mud.
I might go touch the mud.
everyone gives me
We
shit,
go
but
back
I
an
won't
hour
touch
to
the
go touch
mud.
the mud.
It's only a 5. I don't know shit about ley lines.
No. No, you're unsure. You felt power in the earth before, you know, the kind of inherent power of the land and things like that, but you don't have words for it. It's your time as a tree rooted in that place didn't give you language for it. It's more of a feeling and sensation and that kind of intuition. Like that's sort of where you draw your magic from in a way. It's like you have an understanding that goes beyond words.
So if we buy
I think you're muted, Christian.
Valentine, were you able to extract any of the rock with your rapier?
No, it's harder than my
None
sword.
came off.
by logic, if we, I don't know what y'all know about this ship, but is the rock coming from where you think the ship is, or did the ship come to the rock?
I think I'll look to the twins as if to, and I'll say in Draconic, I think perhaps it is time that you tell them the other reason we are here, motioning towards the rock.
Oh shit.
Make a persuasion check.
I am shit.
Can I help?
Guidance? Can I go?
I'm going to say that
proficient.
you didn't know. You can't guidance this because you don't know what he's saying. You hear him speaking Draconic, but you don't know what he's talking about.
I like the fact that
Valentine,
Rosie,
yes.
anytime someone is having a conversation, you're just like, guidance!
Valentine,
Honestly,
yes, you
that's
can
the-
because you
that's
do
the
speak
cleric.
Draconic.
That's the cleric vibes.
So I get, did Valentine assist with that?
Yes. So you
Oh, okay.
because Valentine, I think, has proficiency with
That
With,
is,
persuasion. I also speak Draconic.
exactly.
but I don't know that you speak Draconic yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. That's a 12.
So, as you kind of plead your case with them, they both kind of look at each other. No, they do not need to know. It is too valuable. We don't know these people well enough. They could
Then
kill
we should
us.
move on. Then we should move on quickly before they start asking more questions about the rock.
Yes, we should. Let's go.
The twins believe we should move on. And we have more important issues than this black rock.
Can we were asking questions about the rock. I'm really trying not to metagame here. But I want, like,
You want to
Wysper
touch the
has
rock?
No.
I want to
I
touch that
do
rock.
want to touch the rock, but there's no logical reason for me to touch the rock. All of these magic people are touching the rock, and I'm not a magic person.
I'm not a magic person.
Yeah. We've just been asking questions about the rock, and they're like, "Let's move on. Let's move on." Do I suss that that's like strange that they're trying to get us to move on? My question is, do I pick up that they're trying to get us to move on quicker?
Are you asking for a vibe check?
I am asking like for a sus check.
I would
I'm
also like to. I would like to either help or make my own because I have a pretty high passive insight. So
We'll say you can help Shy with this insight check.
I'd like to give that help action then. That's an expertise help.
Yeah,
I don't know.
okay.
That doesn't make a difference, but
That's good to know.
yeah, my passive insight is
Okay.
16, Tim.
That's nice. My passive insight is not that high. But that is a 16 plus 2, so that's an 18.
Let's go.
18. Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, they're cagey, but they've been cagey this whole time.
That's true.
So it's not totally out of line with their character, and how they've been behaving up to this point. But it does, you get the little tingle. It's like, that's a little weird.
I like to think that Shy gets that tingle because she's like, okay, I understand when people have been moving business and been like, yeah, don't look at that. We're gonna just keep going.
That's not for you. Not for you.
That's not for you to see.
Can Valentine?
So
make
I'd clock that, but keep it to myself for now.
Can Valentine try to catch Shy's eye for a second? Like,
My passive perception is a 14.
Okay. What would you make a sleight of hand check?
I'm good at those. I'm really good at those. Natural 20 for 25.
Nice.
Yeah, you
Let's
absolutely
go.
you catch Shy's eye.
So yeah, Shy would probably look at the twins and Wysper having a conversation and would kind of follow the eye line through the rest of the Dathian party and settle on Valentine.
I think Valentine would make like just a slight nod and just like a stay back for a second, and is going to address Wysper and the princess and the captain, and basically just be like, the Black Rock will lead us where we need to go. Captain, we don't know what's in there. Do you mind looking ahead for a second?
All right, I will head with them.
I can help.
Yeah, and the captain moves kind of forward to the front of the group.
I want a vibes check from Valentine.
Yeah.
We love
you can make an
vibes.
insight check.
Vibes check. Vibes check.
Do I deception?
Yeah.
Natural 18 for an insight.
You beat. I only got a
plus
17.
4. Yeah, 18 plus 4, so 22 or something like that.
You beat my 16.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
definitely trying to also tell you to go with them.
And I will, if I catch a moment, if I catch your eye at any moment, I'll just sort of give you a knowing nod. But I will go ahead and I'll leave Char with you.
Right.
This is the only type of PvP that I like.
Press ahead.
It's good.
So I
Player.
I just rolled a sort of a general perception check.
Tree check.
I rolled a 25. So I'm just trying to sort of
It's just generally.
tracking.
So what's
I'm
up with
just
that
sort
mud?
of tracking. No, I'm just sort of tracking all of the interactions between the different people.
Yeah.
Everyone's nodding at each other
Yeah.
and talking, and I'm just watching everybody. I'm watching Valentine nod at Shy.
Triple
I'm
watching.
watching everybody. So when they leave, what I would like to do is I would like to cast Speak with Animals. I would like to say to Shar, I sometimes find I have more in common with other creatures of the woods. I ask not for you to divulge secrets, but merely out of the safety for my friends. Oh, are they leading us to danger?
I need you to roll a d6 for me. please.
Oh no. Yes.
4.
Okay. So as you cast Speak with Animals, as you're standing there, you notice something. You've cast this spell dozens, maybe hundreds of times. There is something that kind of wells up inside of you as you're casting it. And you hear, as you, like, after you finish speaking, you start to hear more voices coming in. And you can hear, it's like your perception is extended out. And you can hear just like the chattering of like, oh, look at this nut. Oh, look at this. All above you. And you look up and you can see there's birds flying up around you. And you can hear all of them.
Terrifying.
As Char's trying to speak to you, it's difficult to focus. There is now all this extra input.
You would see Thistle would sort of close his eyes like someone who sort of has a migraine, sort of like, and then sort of focus and open my eyes. I think, and I would address the group that's left. I think we need to have a very serious conversation as to the nature of what we are looking for. This speaking with animals is not a very large magical investment, but something has amplified it greatly. If you were to use something that was more powerful here or somewhere even stronger, it could be world-changing.
Tim, would I have ever heard, like, my mom talk about tapping into, like, big magic like that as a child?
Make a history check.
And make it better than I did.
I am like a solid middling smart. But that is a nice roll. That's an 18.
You remember her talking to you in kind of wrapped up in sort of fairy tales and things like that about places of power and places where she described it as feeling closer to the like power of the ocean and or the power of the tide, and that there were, you know, often associated with sort of sacred sites or holy sites, but these places existed that where the arcane and that existed was closer, whatever magic that she tapped into for her spells and things like that, there were places where she could feel it more potently. She never used a specific word like a ley line or anything like that, but more kind of wrapped up in that, like, yeah, these places exist, but they were always sort of wrapped up in fairy tale or, you know, myth.
I think you're right, Thistle. If this is something like what I think it might be, I don't know. I've only heard about this stuff in like fairy tales or like stories my mama told me. If she talked about these places of power where your magic would become more than it ever was, And I ain't never seen her use it, or like, we didn't have one in Kaissar, but she talked about it. She knew about them. Maybe that's what this is.
Did she ever tell you of the story of the Dragonborn Traveler?
Did I ever hear a story of a Dragonborn traveler? You ever been to Kaissar, Valentine?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we don't. There's a reason that you don't see Triton out and about. We keep to our own, and Kaissar is kind of one of those places. You're born there and you stay there. Nobody really leaves, and nobody comes to visit.
Well, as you told me very recently, don't fuck me over and I won't fuck you over.
Fair enough.
So, the reason I'm here is that story. Should have been just a story. But I guess all things have a nugget of truth in them, no? That ship is not what they're here for. They're here because the story of a Dragonborn traveler was a Dragonborn that was stranded here. He never sailed away. He teleported away. He got off this island, and nobody knows how. It was a long time ago, so it's supposedly just a story, but here we are.
So if I'm understanding, sorry, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're here because someone who shouldn't have been able to leave left.
Yes.
They used magic that they shouldn't have been able to do.
Yes.
Like a person who ain't touched by magic, like me.
Absolutely. Tim, do I know about ley lines, like the vernacular or that sort of thing? Like, would I have learned about any of that in my college?
Yeah, you're
Like
more
rudimentary
familiar with
knowledge.
those kinds of myths, and some of them do talk about ley lines.
Mhm.
But again, it's always couched in myth and fable. But you've heard the term before.
Tim, do I know about mud magic and the power of mud?
All you gotta do is touch the mud.
I'm gonna go touch that mud. You
Just
convinced me.
So, with the ship, who cares about it? We're here because of... Darthians are obsessed with magic. Ley lines. Ones we know about, ones we don't. Supposedly just myth, but I mean, it's a pretty convincing argument to say that wherever this black rock shows up, magic seems to be different. I just thought you should know.
I appreciate you saying. Now that we're laying our cards on the table, so to speak.
Yes.
I would look to Wysper.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not
Wysper
there. He
left.
went
Everyone
ahead.
else
Yeah,
is.
Whispers with
So they
the
just-
captain.
Thistle-
Sorry, I thought he was there.
I think Rosie might be still close by.
Right.
I think it's the four
Yeah.
of you, yeah.
Well,
I didn't want our Dragonborn friends to get angry or Wysper to get in trouble. I'm still under their employ.
well, you do what you need to do to get paid. You won't hear anything from me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes you just put your head down and do your job. I get it. Well, let's move forward. Y'all, people who use magic, you keep an eye on yourself. You
Yes.
be careful.
Tim,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry.
No. What is it?
Esper touched the rock and said they saw people from a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I have to touch the rock.
Yeah, you gotta touch the rock. Touch the rock.
I have to touch the mud.
Touch the mud. It's so soft on your
Ooh.
skin.
Moisturizer.
So velvety. The mud is cake.
No.
You touch the rock.
I do.
Okay. I'll have everyone
I'm sorry.
take their headphones out. As you lay your hand on the rock, you feel the presence of something. It feels very far away. And you feel your words start to bubble up as if there is a story that you can't help but speak. And you start muttering involuntarily. You like the words are just pouring out of your mouth as this presence drifts closer. And you get to the point where you are like the muttering is starting to get louder, and you sort of catch yourself and you pull your hand away.
It's out there. I knew it.
The rest of you kind of head forward. What's Rosie, Thistle, and Shy? What is your passive perception?
14.
16.
16.
12.
Okay. Thistle, you you hear a bit of muttering from Valentine as they hang back for a second, and you watch as they kind of stand up and join the rest of the group.
I'll fall back.
Okay.
Did you find what you were looking for? It's not an accusation. It's a genuine curiosity.
Yes and no. But I have a better
It is-
feeling about yes.
It's better than no and no.
I agree.
Thank you. Thank you for looking out for us.
I look out for all those who are kind to me.
Well, it is, from what I have found, a rarer trait than one might think. You can do magic.
Yes, I went to college for it, but I inherently have a bit. As do you, I can see.
Yes, but I'm not looking for an amplifier.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I am looking for a grand adventure. But my question is, what do you hope to amplify, Valentine?
Nothing more than words. Shall we continue onward, my love?
Of course, of course. You must tell me some more of these stories. They sound quite marvelous.
So as you catch up with the rest of the group, Esper, I'll have you make an investigation check as you're at the front.
Disadvantage?
No, you're back on the path now.
Okay.
You're back on the game path, so you're...
Sweet. 16.
Okay. You head forward for probably another hour or so, and the game path kind of continues on, and you eventually come to a little bit of a wider section, and you see there's a large log that has fallen, like a tree has fallen, and you know, it's kind of covered in moss. But you can see underneath as you get closer what looks like skeletal remains in armor. And you can tell right away by the skull that's visible. It's a dragonborn skull. And you can see the arms are kind of clutched over the chest, but they're mostly pinned under this kind of trunk. And as you're sort of looking at it, you see
Not one.
Char.
Thistle just fucking trips on a root, just fucking hits the ground. Oh.
Just eats it.
Char starts barking quite loudly as the rest of you kind of arrive. And as you're kind of kneeled down at this, looking at the skeleton, you hear this kind of scratching as two bird-like creatures kind of leap onto the log. And you can see they are almost chicken-like, but they have kind of long, leathery wings, almost like a dragon. And they let out this horrible scream, and that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh, no.
Tim, but I want to touch the rock. Tim, I don't have any magic, and I want to touch the rock.
I really wanted to touch the rock.
I'm sorry.
Christian, your dog gave us away.
I know my dog ate their child, probably. I should start this battle off by apologizing.
Holy bananas, y'all.
Full Baby Yoda.
I was literally just typing this in our Zoom chat. I'm obsessed with this party in so many different facets. Yeah, this is great. We will be back in a tight 10. Grab yourself a beverage, grab yourself a snack, preferably not a really large egg, unless that's your thing.
A really large egg. It's like just a big egg.
Eggnog.
Pet your animals. If you have a wolf, pet your wolf.
Yeah,
Why
put
don't
your
you
little
take a
baby wolves
chance?
and your little your familiars with you.
If
Stick
the wolf
around.
is not your pet and you have a wolf nearby, don't pet that wolf. Go somewhere else.
Be careful.
Be in a different place.
Unless it's like real friendly.
Firm eye contact with it and sort of like growl a little bit.
Yeah.
We will be back in a tight 10. We love you, and we will see you shortly. Bye, everyone. See you in a few.
We're back. Oh, God.
Some
I'll
stinky
have
leather
everyone
birds.
roll initiative, please.
Oh,
Oh
boy.
God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, hi.
Ooh.
Okay.
Tim,
Ah,
I miss
good
my 27 passive perception. You would never have been able to pull this shit.
So bad.
Right.
All right. 25 to 20.
22.
Ooh.
Natural 19.
Well done.
Coming out swinging.
20 to 15.
19.
19. Whisper. All right. And 15 to 10.
11.
10.
12.
Valentine. Thistle. And Rosie. What was yours, Esper? 7.
Why are you always bringing up the rear with the
Rolled a
rope?
natural 4.
That's wild. You are, yeah, it's crazy.
Every initiative I rolled so shit. Like,
So bad.
That's okay. Save the high rolls for the other ones. You're good. You're good.
I just maybe I'll crit on a sneak. Maybe. Who
You
knows?
do good.
All right, Shy, you are up first.
So we got 2 burb friends. 2 of them.
Yeah, they're about 5 feet apart, kind of over top, above where Esper is.
Okay. Seeing my good pal, seeing my good buddy Esper in a bit of a conundrum, I am going to run in, and wherever this bird looks, you know what? I'm gonna punch this bird in the neck. I'm gonna
Punch it. Absolutely.
I'm gonna punch this bird in the neck. Well, I'm assuming their necks are a bit longer.
Yeah, totally.
We're gonna punch it in a weak spot in the neck.
I mean, go for it.
I feel like if you
Like-
got attacked
like
by an
on
emu
me.
or an ostrich, that's the defense point. Is you just try to get him in the neck as hard as possible.
That is going to be so I'm gonna come in and like seeing, I don't know, I'm gonna just be like, get the fuck away from Esper, and I'm gonna like come in with my Eskrima stick and I'm gonna crack at the neck, and that's gonna be a 19 to hit.
It does
Nice.
hit. I will say they're not very big. Like, they're small creatures. Like, they're probably, like maybe 2.5 feet high. Like, they're a little bit bigger than the chicken.
So instead of baseball, I'm playing golf is what we're going for
You
here.
can aim for their
Okay.
neck, though. They don't really have a lot of feathers.
Are they turkeys? Are they better? Like they're about a turkey size?
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Turkeys are scary.
awful.
Like, let's be real.
Okay, so that is 4 plus 3, so that is going to be 7 points of damage with that one, and I am. Do I spend a focus point
So
now?
it's the one on the left.
Yeah, the one on the left, and then I'll spend a focus point, and I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna...
On the log.
Adam's
The log's
brain.
not huge, too. It's like the log is probably, it's like a younger tree that's fallen.
Sorry, can you say that one more time, please?
The tree isn't huge, so yeah, you like it's at about kicking height. Like, it's a younger tree.
Absolutely.
Tim Adam's brain just caught up. Esper doesn't know anything, but it finally clicked for me.
What they are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The puzzle piece fell into place, and I went,
Emma has no idea.
They're
so,
Canadian geese.
Yeah, absolutely. Jub birds. Jub's birds? Yeah.
Jubs.
So jubs.
It's not a jub.
This
Jubs
is going
are
to be
much
a
scarier.
13 to hit for this one.
13 does hit, yeah.
Okay. So
Same one? Same one on the left?
Yeah, same one. Okay, so 3 plus 3 is 6 points of kicking damage, and then so that we'll kick that one straight through, and then maybe if I get a bit of air on it, I'm gonna punch it as well.
Yeah, you do. Like, it kind of like you kind of sweep the legs a little bit, and it is pissed. It's like,
Good, as it should be, because that's gonna be a 16 to hit for this one.
That'll hit.
And that's 4 plus 3, so that is going to be 7 points of damage.
Nice.
And I am up in this bird's business,
Nice.
preventing it from hitting my good friend Esper.
All right. It is now Wysper's turn.
I will yell to Char, or I won't yell, but I'll say so that she hears me, Esekve, and have her come to me, because she's in the front there. Do these birds resemble the stone bird that Esper
No.
picked up? No.
No.
Okay. I will. I'll take a shot. I'll notch an arrow. So I'll pull Skyfall out and take a shot.
Are you shooting the one that Shy has been hitting, or the other one?
I'll target the other one because Shy looks like she's got that one. Okay. Let me just make sure. I think it's a +5, +7. Okay. That is a 13 plus 7 is 20.
That hits.
1d8 plus 3. That's an 8 plus 3, so 11 points of damage on that.
Nice.
And I will use my movement to position myself in front of the twins, and I'll sort of turn back and say in Draconic, make yourself scarce, my friends.
Yeah, and the captain is kind of drifting back with them as well.
And I'd like to say that Char can't control herself, and so we'll charge forward, seeing Shy engaged, and we'll take a chomp at the bird that Shy has been punching.
Okay.
So
Roll that attack.
let me roll the attack. That
Get her into flank too. Get her into flank for the
That's-
You have to
+2.
go around the log.
yeah, I'd have to jump around the
No.
log. That's hold on, let me just look at hers. That's a natural 9 plus
Probably will hit.
plus
Their AC
4, which
really
is a
low.
13.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, so 2d4 plus 2. That is 6 plus 2, 8 points of damage.
Nice. Yeah, the bird is looking pretty fucked up. It's still hanging in there, but it's like it's pretty bloodied now, and it's not looking great.
So the bird has to. I didn't do this yesterday. I'm learning. The bird has to make a strength saving throw, or be knocked prone.
Oh yeah, because rolled an 11 -2. It is knocked prone.
Excellent. And so that's my turn.
Great. It is the creature's turn. The one on the ground is going to get up, and it's going to try to bite you, Shy, because you're right in front of it. And
Bring it.
Off at you. That is a 17 to hit.
Sure does.
All right. That is 4 points of piercing damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
I knew that was coming. I knew a Constitution saving throw was coming. Okay, one sec here. Oh my gosh, D&D Beyond. Okay, here we go.
You know what did it for me, Tim? Was I literally was like, leathery turkey. And my brain went,
12 plus 2, that is a 14.
14, that's a success. So yeah, you feel this like bite as it like the creature kind of like bites down on you, and you can see that it like its saliva kind of sticks to you, and you kind of shake it off. But the wound feels kind of hot as you kind of brush it away. And then the other one is going to, I think it's going to jump on. Oh, is it going to? Yeah. It's going to jump down on top of Char and bite Char, or try to bite Char. Ooh, that's a natural 18, so that's a 21 to hit.
How dare you?
Not the pupper.
That is 4 points of piercing damage, and I need a Constitution save from Char.
Oh my god!
Oh no! Don't hit the
She
pup.
is growling and is very unhappy. A Constitution saving throw. That's a 4.
Oh no,
4.
pepperoni.
And
So
how many points of damage was that?
4 points of piercing damage. So you watch as it bites onto Char and kind of pulls away. You can see with the coloring it's difficult to tell. But you can see the blood kind of pours out. And as Char kind of like you see her kind of like pull back and whimper a bit.
Pepperoni.
Okay. It is Valentine's turn.
Valentine. Valentine is going to look at this horrible leather turkey and is going to just yell at it, "Shoo! Get away!" And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Nice.
Is this turkey wise? It needs to make a whiz save.
Is any turkey wise?
I don't know.
No,
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
that's why
yeah,
a turkey.
does have a-
That's
Yeah, I think that
the reason
I
why a
think
turkey needs to be pardoned every year is because they are criminals. And honestly, I think this turkey pardoning thing should be stopped.
I will say wisdom is its highest stat, which is ludicrous. It does have a +1, but I only rolled a 6, so it's a 7.
Oh, lovely, lovely. So it's going to take 3d6 full damage.
Nice.
And it has to use its action to, if available, it must immediately use its reaction to move as far away from me as its speed will allow.
let's go.
That's
Okay,
It
so
just runs
it's, and this is the one that attacked Char?
Yes.
Or the- okay.
And it takes 12 points of...
Okay.
Is it psychic? Yeah. 12 points of brain damage to this turkey.
Amazing. So you watch as it's like, oh, and it like bumps into the log and like flies up 40 feet. It flies away 40 feet.
It's too many feet.
It's just like bumping into trees, and it's weird. It's like not a graceful thing. Like its wings are kind of a mix between almost like a bat and a lizard as it kind of like flaps away. All right, Thistle, you're up. It's pretty epic
Thistle-
music for
Yeah,
these things.
for turkeys.
I love
I
it.
didn't-
I was just going to say this music is awesome.
It's the choir that really. Thistle sees. Yeah. He's charging bit, and the lines in his face start to glow, and the light gets brighter and brighter until you can't look at him anymore. And when it dims, you see before you a giant brown bear. His fur has like moss and lichen growing on it.
So cool.
And the same sort of emerald lines runs from his nose back across his face. And he moves in to attack the one that hasn't run away yet.
Okay,
I guess that's the one that Shy's been punching.
Yep.
And I get 2 attacks as a burr. 1 bite and 1 claw. So the bite. Where'd you go, dice? The bite. The bite is a 19.
Yep.
And the claw is a 20.
Yeah.
Oof.
Go ahead and
Nice.
roll that damage.
So the bite is 8 points of damage.
Yep.
And the claw is 11 points of damage. So 19 points all.
How do you want to finish off this this leathery
Let's
turkey?
go.
There's a sort of really sharp juxtaposition of the sort of quiet old man energy from Thistle and this sort of brutality of what you like witness. Like he claws the turkey from below and bites the neck and just rips the throat, and he is just, the blood is all over his muzzle, and he is a bear in that moment. He is not
Nice.
Thistle.
Yeah, so you just eviscerate this turkey. All right. Rosie, you're up.
I was trying to come up with a smush, like a word smush of eviscerate and thistle, and I gotta workshop it. It's in there somewhere.
There's the one that's running away, I guess.
Yes, it is 40 feet away from you.
I'll just could I get a wisdom save on it?
Yeah.
It is wise.
Notoriously wise. Oh, that is a natural 20. Yeah.
Ugh,
So 21.
good lord, then it saves.
It is important to invest early.
Then I'm gonna bonus action healing word char for 9 points.
Oh,
You
oh,
see
that's lovely.
the wound heals, but you notice that Char is having difficulty moving.
Oh no.
Esper, you're up.
And the other leather turkey is 40 feet away.
40 feet away, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to like stand up because I was like on the ground basically.
Yeah,
like
you were
looking at
just
his
kind of
nose.
crouched down, like you weren't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll run forward 30 feet. A
I'm gonna
knife
have an
appears in my-
acrobatics check as you vault over the log.
Absolutely. Acrobatics, you said?
Yeah.
I am.
Uh-oh. What is it?
It's a natural 20, but
Yeah.
I was having to run
not
out of luck.
here. Not here.
Oh,
Like,
so smooth.
I vaulted so cool. I'm just like, da da da. I feel like with the natural 20,
One
I
motion.
vaulted in the same motion I throw the knife.
Oh, yeah.
And if you let me do a little bit of flavor, Tim. I
Yeah.
think because we're on this island with these black rocks and things are starting to get like a little more. I think I'm going to use a bonus action to hex this turkey.
Okay.
But I think rather than it being invisible, because usually it's like this invisible thing that I'm summoning, you would see this like figure kind of and like rush towards it and grab on to the turkey, and then my knife would land at it. It's so far past my shit. Natural 7, so a 13. No,
Yeah,
a
it
12.
does hit. That
Oh,
no,
it still
that
hits?
does hit. Yeah, the AC is 11.
Let's go.
Turkey's very easy to hit.
Yeah.
Apparently.
They are wearing plate, weirdly.
Amazing.
They're like fully stuffed for Thanksgiving. It's great.
Oh god.
Oh, and I'm gonna give it disadvantage on dexterity checks.
Wisdom.
On wisdom checks. Wow, that is bad damage roll. That is a total of 6 damage.
That's enough.
Oh,
Yeah, not terribly hardy, yeah. So how do you?
yeah,
How do
I
you
like
finish it
just like from kneeling, I look up, I'm like, oh, everything happens. And then I vault, and as I throw the knife, behind it is this like wailing spectral figure that hits the turkey first. And I feel like the knife hits and the eyes kind of fizz out of the turkey. And Esper looks a little pale. He's not seen that happen before.
Yeah. As you hear this kind of and the other creature is down. I need Char to make another Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Am I allowed to guidance these?
No.
No.
That is an 11 plus 1 for 12.
Okay, that is enough.
Oh.
You watch as Char like is kind of gnawing at her leg a bit and kind of like shakes it off. And you watch as she kind of shakes her whole body. This kind of dust sort of comes off her, like rock dust. And you realize that, like, as she kind of like moves her hands and her paws and starts kind of flexing her paws, you see this kind of like almost this like stone dust kind of fall off. And you realize you didn't recognize because of the color of her fur, but that she was starting to be petrified.
Oh, I book it to Char, and I'll just sort of take her big old beautiful head in my face and put my snout to her snout and ask her in Draconic, "Are you okay?"
She starts
and I'll
kind of licking your face.
And I will stand and turn to Rosie, and very solemnly come up to her and kneel and say, "You protected her." And I pull my bow out and I'll say, "My bow is yours."
You can keep your bow. I actually one, I can't use one. Never was really good at it. But you can keep it. I think that's what I'm supposed to do while I'm here.
Oh, no, I mean, I do not intend for you to keep my bow. It is my bow. I mean, it is a metaphor.
Oh.
Yes, my bow is, I will protect,
Yeah.
and then I punch you and walk away.
I love that this is the second time this has happened to Rosie, and Rosie's like, "What the fuck? Why is everyone punching me? What
It's
did
perfect.
I do?"
I love it.
As Wysper is walking away from Rosie before you get within earshot, hopefully, of the other Dragonborn, Valentine is going to come up shoulder side to Wysper and whisper in your ear. In Draconic, you hear,
Oh,
"Sometimes, my friend, it is better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I told them why we're here. Everything is dangerous and they deserve to know. I'm sorry."
and I will respond in common. Do not let the others know you speak Draconic. You are clever, very clever, Valentine. And I'll give you a little punch too.
Yes.
I'm gonna go fetch my knife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you pull
Amongst
it
his
out of
family.
the cockatrice falls to the ground.
It is very impressive, Esper. You have good aim.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, I got a bit of practice, getting rats and pigeons. They're pretty good at moving, but sometimes you gotta eat.
Has anyone seen this creature before?
No, I've never seen these before. But that's not saying much.
There was a farmer I met who had very ugly turkeys, and they were kind of like this, but like these are uglier by a lot.
Thistle is still absolutely fucking destroying what is left of this turkey. He is just ripping it to shreds.
Chowing
And
down.
like, yeah,
I,
like have you seen when polar bears play with their food?
No.
Oh yes,
Oh,
it's terrifying.
I
I'll
would,
sort of yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go first.
No, well, I was going to walk over to you and say, does he do this often?
I ain't never seen him be a bear before. We saw the jaguar on the way in, but I've seen I don't know if I've ever seen any. Would I have met druids before, Tim?
Yeah, there would be druids in Kishawara, yeah.
I mean, we have some druids where I'm from, but they mostly take swimming animals. There's half our city's underwater. Well, most of our town's underwater. I would sit down. I would like kneel down with where Thistle is, and just kind of put a hand, just kind of right on where the like, his shoulder would connect with like the neck of the bear. I wouldn't like move to scritch or anything, but just a presence of like.
He would like whip his head around and snarl. Like think like the Natasha with the Hulk.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that kind of like you see the recognition in his eyes.
And I
And you
would
sort
look
of-
at him and I go, I ain't afraid of you. It's okay.
He
So
would-
is he
I get
still
that.
the tree man?
Yeah. It's
He would
still
sort of blow out of his nose and you'd feel sort of his hot breath on your face. And he would take like a giant paw and put it on your chest and just push you over. Or attempt to. I guess you can roll for it, I guess, if you want to, but like a bear punch.
a bear punch.
That is good, right?
This
That
It
is
would
good.
be athletics, contested
It would be
athletics.
and tested athletics. Athletics.
With my
I
bear.
am. Let's see.
What did I roll for the bear? For
It's gonna be a 15.
would that be Dex? No.
Mine would be strength, Tim, or like athletics is
Athletics is strength. Yeah.
Yeah. so
Athletics
15
is
for me.
strength.
And you are stronger than me. I know that.
Is it 23?
Oh yeah.
And I would walk over to Char and just sort of like playfully sort of bump her and just very, very bearish.
As I would gather myself up after being punched in the chest by a bear, I would look over to Wysper. You ever met people who, when you get in the middle of a fight, they're a bit different?
Yes, I think many people become a bit different when their backs are against the walls.
There's people like that, and then there's people who, not in a malicious way, but it makes them come alive a bit.
Hmm.
I think that's what happens there.
Do
I
you
get
come
it.
alive when there is blood in the air?
You ain't never seen me in a one-on-one fight before. I hope you get the chance to.
I hope it is you and I who get to spar, my friend.
I hope you like your nose where it is.
Oh, I do. Please do not eat my wolf friend. I do not know if you can understand me, tree man, but she is not food. She is my sister. He won't eat her, right?
I don't know. I
That's
don't
not a
think
good
so.
answer. That is not.
I don't think so, Wysper. It's
And
okay.
she is like full on playing like a wolf would play with another wolf. Like there's like a lot of like growling and
Yeah.
like it's rough. And then she'll like roll on her stomach and she's like
she's
trying
fine.
to get him to do that as well.
She's
I
fine.
would-
She's fine.
I'd stand there with Wysper and I'd say, I think there's something that happens when I ain't never been an animal before, but there's that wildness that comes alive in you and something you can't replicate.
I've never seen a man turn into a bear before, but sometimes in the heat of battle, maybe I feel like a wolf myself. So I understand as well. Are you
I know
okay?
there's a me.
Have you been injured? Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm all right. I've taken worse licks. It's okay.
Why would they lick you?
Oh, it's a turn of phrase. It means taking a beating or taking a punch.
That is most curious. Usually, well, not many people have licked me, but it is not harmful. It is uncomfortable. Sure.
You got a lot to learn about the world, my friend. I like that.
This is true.
I would be in a like flat-footed squat over the cockatrice that I killed, and I would like pause for a brief moment at the like scoured out eye holes. I would cut the head off and toss it into the bushes. And then I would cut a bit of the meat off and smell it. Does it smell like edible?
Yeah. Yeah, it smells pretty gamey. And you've had like chicken and turkey before.
I've also had rat and pigeon, so this might be a step up.
It definitely is like, it has a little bit of that rattiness.
That rat vibe? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
A literal rat with wings.
I would go with the headless cockatrice, and I'd go collect the other. Oh no, there's nothing left of the other cockatrice.
Yeah, nothing left of the other.
Yeah, I'll pick up the headless cockatrice and make absolutely no reference to the fact that it doesn't have a head anymore, and I will just basically like sling it over my shoulder, like to like for when we make camp. I'll try and prepare it as
flapping behind.
Yeah.
And you continue down the game path.
Well, before I just want to make, as the group is sort of regrouping and getting together, I will fall back just a little bit and sort of lend my ear to the wind and almost in a sort of canine vibe or wolfish vibe, sniff and see if does it look like we've ruffled any feathers or causing, having had this battle, is there anything sort of onto us now?
You can make a perception check.
I shall perceive. Natural 20.
Ooh.
No, it's fairly quiet. It seems like not these two specifically, but this may be the dominant species on the island. And that like the reason you're not seeing a lot of land-based animals is they're at a disadvantage with this petrification. That's why it seems like most of the wildlife is either very small, like insects, or up in the trees and able to fly away.
So it's the cockatrice that are making these game trails?
Seems like it, yeah.
That's a bit of a bush bash then.
Does anyone need a minute, or do we need to do we press
Are we
on?
still going in the right direction? Or have we been tricked into coming here?
Valentine?
I don't think we've been tricked into coming here. No, we haven't found exactly what we're looking for, but this is pretty good proof.
And based on the trees around it, it seems like this game path sprung up by virtue of it, like at one point being a wider path. So it just became the kind of running path. And then as like over time, it's shrunk down to only sort of accommodate these smaller creatures.
Because they became dominant on the island.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we keep following it.
Who amongst us is the most receptive to these sorts of things? Whoever that is should be in the front.
Likely, honestly, Thistle's pretty good at looking out. I'm okay.
Can he understand us?
Pardon?
Can he understand us when he is like that?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Toss the chunk that I chopped off the cockatrice and just toss it at Thistle, like up in the air.
I can understand when I'm a bear, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a druid, yeah, you retain your mental stats.
You do.
A sort of nod, and then the glow will come up again and then dissipate, and Thistle will be standing there. Yes, I am very perceptive. I can take the front if you all need.
I can also keep an eye out for those little wires and stuff as well. I'm pretty good at finding that sort of thing.
That's good.
All right. Shall we be on our way then?
Oh, actually, the whole fight kind of distracted me, but can I go look at those bodies?
Mm-hmm. You can go look at the body, yeah.
Yeah, I want to, because like he was clutching his, they were clutching their chest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I again, like Esper is, you never touch anything unless you know it's not in some way like rigged up. I'm just gonna like really carefully look at every angle of the body, look at the hands, make sure nothing is like rigged. So that, and then I would start like actually looking at the body. So I want to check for traps. Yeah. So 22.
22.
Ooh, spicy.
There does not appear to be any traps from, as you kind of look, it looks like this person fell victim to this falling tree, and was crushed here. You realize you can't open the hands likely without lifting the log. And again, it's not a huge log. You probably, most of you working together probably could lift it up. But if you wanted to look at get a better look.
Are the hands, so like the log is here and the hands are here, but it's like pinned?
Yeah, it's kind of like the like edge of the log is kind of just on top of the bottom part.
I see. Oh, okay.
Like if I'm understanding your description correctly, Tim, like the hands went up to protect something that is
something, and then as they were being crushed.
I think this boy's. I think this boy might have been holding something when they died. I don't know how you all feel. From my limited experience, the dead don't often worry too much about their things. From what I've discussed, they have greater things on their minds.
Before you further examine the body, Tim, it's Dragonborn, isn't it?
Yes.
This body is not yours to claim.
No, I know. I want to respect you guys first.
Pinex, Alex, I'll say in Draconic. This is Dragonborn. Do you know the family? Do you know anything of this body?
It's hard to make out the crest. Perhaps if we move the log, I think
if we move the log, it might even give us a clue. Like whatever they're holding, it might give us a clue.
Yeah, I'm happy to help. I go over to the edge of the log.
The one with the pretty hairs, I believe he wants to keep whatever he finds on the body if it does not offend you. I say to the twins in Draconic.
Depends what it is.
Of course.
Fair enough.
It also is, I don't want to keep it. I'm just saying the dead don't often worry about their objects that they leave behind. So if it's something that is useful for any of us, it might be worthwhile taking.
You speak to the dead.
And not for a while.
What you have before?
Kind of, yeah.
Do they come to you or do you go to them?
I was sent to them.
You were sent?
By who?
Someone I don't think I'm ready to talk about.
I respect.
But I was sent kind of the traditional way.
Oh.
Do you mean to say you've tasted death before? You've looked her in the eye?
Have you ever heard of foie?
The food?
Yeah. It's a food I heard of. Super fancy. I've never got to have any of myself. But what they do is, for those of you who don't know what it is, they force feed a goose lots of food so that its liver gets really fatty, and then they eat that. They mash it up into a paste. To say I tasted death would be like to say the goose tasted its meal.
Oh,
This
God's
may
And you
be,
randoms.
returned.
this may be a stretch, but have you ever spoken to someone like me?
Firbolg?
Yes.
Tim? I can't say that I have. It's often hard to tell. You leave a lot behind. It's hard to tell sometimes. And this was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, but no, I can't say that I have.
It was a stretch anyway. Thank you for your honesty.
Sorry. And like I don't like really sharing that because like people give me the looks that you're kind of giving me. It's fine. I'm good. Like I've had a good laugh. Like Thistle always says, every day's an adventure. You know, it's good. It's fine.
I know we only known you like a week, Esper, but just because we cared, that's all.
No, I know. I don't like.
Well, I see you're
Yes.
looking for a topic change, so I'm gonna lift
Yep.
this log. Somebody help me, please.
Yes, I will help.
Oh,
All right. You can both make athletics checks for me, please.
I'm not very strong. Athletics, here we go.
you have an inspiration.
Oh, I
Still
do,
in
but
Ooh.
but I have a 19. That was a 19, so a 20.
19?
Ooh.
That is going to be an 18 for me.
Yeah,
Nice.
you managed to lift and kind of roll this log off of what remains of this body. And you can see the armor underneath is fairly crushed inward. The legs are gone. They've just been sort of subsumed by the earth. So most of the bones that remain are kind of what's visible up above, and they are kind of covered in moss and things. But yeah, you can see the kind of crushed breastplate. And Arlex kind of leans in to take a look. He kind of looks at it for a bit and then kind of backs up with his brother.
In Celestial, before I unclasp the hands, I'm going to say, you don't need this where you've gone, but I hope you found your way. And I'm going to unclasp the hands. Now, out of curiosity, does Wysper understand what I say?
I do, because I do speak Celestial.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you would hear me. You would hear me just say like, yeah. And then I'm going to unclasp the hands, see what this person was holding.
Okay. You see as you kind of pull the bones apart, you see there is a brass key. It's about yay big.
I'm looking to the twins and
Which
trying
is it?
to gauge.
They seem pretty intent on looking to see what it is.
It's a key. I would probably assume maybe for this ship that you're looking for.
You see Arlex extends his hand out.
Is there like a marking on the breastplate at all?
There does seem to be a crest. It is somewhat crushed, but it does seem to be a crest.
In that moment where they had stepped back away after inspecting, but Wysper's leant in to see like what I was doing, I'd like to tap the crest and raise an eyebrow at Wysper, and then I'll hand the key over.
As I grab the key from him, I will say in Celestial. I won't say anything, actually. I'll grab the key and I will present it to Arlex and find it.
Arlex takes it, kind of puts it into his jacket.
Oh,
Of what family is this dragonborn?
I believe they could be Thalesian, but it's difficult to tell.
Were there Thalesians on the expedition we are tracking?
It was of their family, the expedition, originally.
I'll convey that to the group. We are getting closer.
That's good. Go finish the job then.
Let's go.
Does anyone need a rest, or do we want to press on?
I am good if you are good.
okay.
Sure.
It's a bit of Bit of blood off of her arm. Yeah, I'm all right. We'll go ahead.
So you continue on as the sun begins to get low in the sky and dusk starts to settle in. You come into an open clearing. Who's at the front?
Tim, can we just, as we're getting into this,
Yeah.
I'm going to hold the rear, but before we take off, I'm going to hold back a little bit and slide up next to Esper. And now I'll say in Celestial, in a low voice, in a hushed voice, in that here there is a fruit, a very prickly fruit. If you touch it and are not aware, you will cut yourself. But if you have the skill and the patience and strip this fruit of its skin, it is very, very sweet. One of the sweetest fruits I have ever tasted. I think that is you, my friend. I heard your prayers. You are a good man.
Thanks for that. Thanks.
I'm sorry you talk so much.
Well, like I said to Shah, I talk exactly as much as I need to.
I am starting to understand.
And then I would move to the front of the group to investigate forward. Rogue Watch.
Coming up next to, can I kind of loop around the side and can I get in close to Rosie for a minute?
Yeah.
As we're kind of moving very quietly, I would lean into her.
Mm-hmm.
I know this might not be the time for it, but you sketch, right?
I do. A little bit.
I crack open my bag and you see really, really nice paints. You see like a beautiful set of like oil paints with really beautiful brushes and a roll of like what looks like artist's paper. If you ever want to draw or something sometime, you let me know, okay?
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
It's been a real long time since I've done anything with my hands other than punch people. So, stop, Adam. Get out of here. But yeah, there would be watercolor paint in there, absolutely. It's watercolor paper, if you're wondering. But yeah, if you ever want to, I was always a fan of like seascapes, but that seems pretty standard. So
yeah, that sounds really nice.
okay, cool. Thanks, Rosie. Yeah, okay. And then Shy almost you see this like there was like a spark of vested interest, and then the second it's just like okay, and now we're back to a job, and then Shy just kind of skirts away again.
Nice. I will have Esper make an investigation check.
Can I go again?
Yes.
Okay. That's a decent D20 roll. That's a very nice guidance roll. And then that's a 21
the nicest
total.
Guidance.
Nice.
It's good.
So as you come through the kind of end of this game path as it opens up, you are kind of keeping an eye out for traps, but you don't find any. And you see up ahead kind of a clearing, and as the sun now almost completely gone, that kind of twilight seeping in through the canopy, the wind kind of picks up behind you. And as you walk out, you can see as the wind kind of carries through, you hear that wail kind of immediate. As you see what appears to be the mouth of a fairly large cave. But inside of this mouth of the cave, that's taken up almost all of it. You can only tell because of the rock kind of formation around it. You see the front of a ship. That is almost stuck here at the opening. You can see moss and vines kind of growing throughout. And you watch as the wind kind of carries through the figurehead on this. A beautiful dragon, ornate. Its nostrils, you can see the moss kind of moves, and as it passes through, you hear that sound as it carries off down to the cavern behind, almost like an amplifier. And you can see the front of the ship, which you can only assume is the whale.
I'll make my way from the rear alongside the core group, and I'll say perhaps it is best if we hold up here, and Char and I will approach, investigate, and make sure there's nothing unkept, nothing we're walking into. But this does in fact resemble the whale.
I
This
can
might
help
be
with
the
that
ship.
if you want.
Sure, you are stealthy and quiet, and I am a bit loud with my plate armor, but if you allow me a moment, and I will touch the center of the plate armor and expend one of the charges, Tim, to ensure that I have no disadvantage on the following stealth roll as we approach.
Okay.
What you see
Have you
happens is...
both make stealth checks.
Sure. You see the plate armor as I touch it, the center crest, there is no crest, but it will light up and there will be gold sort of filament in the Kaissar crest. And as I touch it, the space, the air around me will sort of like a mini EMP going off, boom, 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 around the armor and my person as we make this stuff.
22 for me. I rolled very well.
I miss armor that does that. I miss Callie's armor.
Even with no disadvantage, that was a natural one for us.
Oh no!
No.
It's not working. I do not know what is going on here.
The EMP does start going. Bah, bah, bah.
It just starts yelling.
Oh no!
You
don't
set
step
off the
armor.
car alarm.
Exactly.
You kind
No,
of
this is
stumble
not-
and
this is not
trip into the clearing, and you hit on a large branch that just snaps.
Oh.
And in this sort of quiet of the evening, it's like it echoes, and you hear a bunch of birds take off.
Armor made by the famous dragon Skrillex.
Wob wob.
Wow.
With
And
my
it's
22,
like this
I'm
sort of
just like,
jarring moment is like as Esper kind of like scoops you up, and you kind of regain composure as you move towards the edge of the ship. And you can see
usually much more
where the
quiet.
vines have kind of grown through and the moss hangs. What would you like to do?
in Celestial. Wysper, you seem very loyal, but you also seem like you have a pretty good sense of right and wrong. I have been picking up. Do you trust the twins?
That is a hard question. I do not. Trust is hard earned among the Dathians. They have taken care of me. I trust that they will continue to take care of me so long as I serve them.
Do you trust that they would serve their interests over your own if it came to that?
Absolutely. If I became somehow, if I jeopardized the mission or became harmful to what they want, they would eliminate me. It is the way.
I will respect your decision on this and go with what you want. But if we find something that key could have fit in our scouting, I can probably get it open without the key. I'm just, they went for that key real fast. And it just didn't sit right with me.
I sensed a bit of apprehension from them as well, and I too am suspicious, but it is not my way to question. I will not stop you, pretty hair, from doing whatever you want. But I cannot act against them either, unless I think they are going to harm you, I suppose, or your friends.
If I do try and open whatever we find, if we find anything at all, you're not going to attack me, yeah?
I will never attack anyone who is facing away from me, and yet I will never attack a friend.
Well, I appreciate that. Come on, let's see what we can find. So yeah, can we get to this ship and start kind of like
make an investigation check.
I will assist you in that.
Sweet. We love advantage on
While they're
investigation.
heading on up with the ship, I am gonna kind of scoot around, just kind of like, putting my hands behind my back like I'm just waiting and being patient, and I'm gonna amble my way over towards where Valentine is standing, and I'm gonna keep an eye on the twins. I want to my eyes are trained on the twins and the captain.
Yeah, they seem excited. They're like they're sort of, I mean, making an insight check.
Vibe check them.
Vibe check them.
Let's get some PvP. Player vibing players.
Player vibing players. 15. Okay. This has been some
I got
good
an 18
dice.
for my investigation as well. Right.
That gonna be a 17.
17. Yeah, they seem excited. Like this is what they've been looking for. Like they're not really hiding it. That it's like
Totally.
This is it. And they're just keeping an eye on what's going on. With an 18, as you kind of look through, you kind of move some of the vines away, and you see, as you kind of reach in, you see what looks like a spell scroll case that's kind of been broken apart, and has like the vines have kind of grown through it, and whatever spell scroll that was in it is long gone, but the kind of leather case is sort of in several pieces kind of across this vine that's grown through it. But you can see there are arcane letters that are kind of stretched across the vine as you look.
Can I read it? Is it in Draconic, or is the lettering familiar?
It looks like draconic arcane runes. So it, like, as you are kind of looking at it, you like, as you move this thing, you watch as it starts to glow with this kind of like red glow, and you see, like, as you kind of back up, this sort of light emanates out, and you see in the middle of this clearing a large, almost globe-like structure, and you can see there is this kind of black spot on one side as it kind of slowly shifts, and you watch as there's almost like an explosion, and these lines emanate out from that black spot all around, crisscrossing this entire globe, and then it vanishes.
Esper's smart because he's stolen every book he's gotten his hands on. That spot on the globe, would that line up with the recently erupted volcano if we were to look at like a globe of the world?
Make an intelligence check.
Absolutely.
It was very brief.
It's a natural 19, and I'm very smart, so 22.
22. You're not totally sure, but it does, like, in the sort of brief look that you got, there wasn't a lot of, like, there was some kind of general geological shapes, so it's difficult to pin down exactly where, but it did look like the dot was somewhere in the region of Katona. But you're not entirely sure.
Yeah. It would be like looking at like a globe that didn't have any of the land masses on it and being like, where is India?
And like somebody's spinning it, and like you're trying to kind of pick it out. But it, like, if you were to hazard a guess, you would reckon that it was somewhere in Katona.
Okay. I'll tell that to Wysper. I'll convey my the little connection that I think I've made where I'm not 100% sure, but when it exploded, did that not kind of remind you of a volcano?
Yes, but I have to tell you that I have been trained as the eyes, the sword, the bow of the Dathians, and one thing we do not believe in is coincidence. And this eruption you speak of, I I cannot say I was born of it, but I appeared shortly after the explosion. Oh my God! You just said the word, the eruption.
Right.
I find it very alarming that I am here and you are here and this map is here. Perhaps you can take that, but do not let the others know you found it, especially that.
Did it?
Do not let the dragon.
Everyone saw
Yeah,
it.
it was like
like
in the
an
clearing, right?
illusion.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Oh, it was
like
in the clearing.
It was
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Everyone saw it, and you can see like all of you are sort of taken aback by this. And again, it flashed up and then was gone. And you see the twins are already kind of writing down something in a notebook. And as you're kind of standing and chatting, you smell burning, and you can see there is smoke emanating from part of the vines as you watch as these fairly large hands of complete fire start pulling through the vines from the cave. And that's where we're going to end it today.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Tim, you cliff lich.
It is
Cliffledge.
the Mines of Moria.
Yes.
Except turkeys.
Except it's
Except
turkeys.
turkeys.
Crazy.
Yeah, is this the bal turkey?
Yeah, the Baldur.
That is exactly right.
Oh my goodness. Thank you to Christian and Cody for joining us for another one of these just delightful. So good. We will be back next week with our main campaign live in studio, a different through fair line, likely taking place at a different time point, but this wonderful little interim will be back in a couple weeks. So stay tuned to our socials. Make sure you follow us at BlackwaterDnD across all the things. And we can't wait to keep telling beautiful stories with you. We are going to go raid. So stick around in the outro screen for a little bit. But we're gonna put
I'm so sad that I'm gonna miss the third one.
Yeah, it's okay. You're there.
Planes.
Esper's there.
Shit, we were supposed to kill you.
Yeah, I was supposed to die here. Oh, damn.
Esper
Okay.
dies.
Put your thumbs up, everyone. Put your
Gibbs
thumbs
on
up.
his knives.
Yeah. All of them. Does anyone have one? No? Yeah. Adam?
When you're in the jungle and you find leather turkeys attacking you and turning you into stone, make sure to burn out their eyes, collect their meat, and be safe.
Have a wonderful night, everyone. We'll see
Took
you
a bit of a
soon.
walk to get to that one.
Stick around for the raid, everyone. Good night.
You know,
Bye.
Make sure you punch your friends.
But